You're plugged in to The Real Life Show with your host, Malachi Malay.
And co-host, Catherine Martins.
Where real life issues meet real life solutions. Problems are not solitary things. Someone has been through what you're going through. So let's talk about real life.
Yeah, Malachi, baby. Representing our city, aka Rail City. Come on. I love my city, I grab the mic when I speak, cause I rep my city. I'm down for the long run, cause I bleed my city. It's about time you respect my city.
Of course I'm ready.
Okay, everybody ready?
Oh yeah.
We got Tash again. And introduce yourself.
Well, depending what you want to know me by, my name's Derek.
Okay, this name is Derek, but, you know, it's a special guest here. What exactly do you do for a living?
My claim to fame is pro wrestling with World Wrestling Entertainment.
Okay.
As former WWE superstar Highlander Robbie of the tag team, the Highlanders.
Okay, so people remember that tag team.
And the whole thing that I ever did there was go, I'm Robbie. And it made money.
And he still does it.
Okay. So you were in the WWF between which years?
I was there from 2004 to 2008.
Okay.
Spent a lot of time just doing the job for the first year. Mm-hmm. And then we presented something to WWE that they hadn't seen in a long time.
Okay.
Characters that Vince McMahon didn't come up with. He saw our characters, our big beards, our hair, our fur, and he just thought, well, that's something that happened 20 years ago, and it's something that we need.
And you kilts.
Oh yeah, we wore kilts too.
Okay. So here's an interesting question though. How's it work? How do you get into the WWE? But it was a WWF at that time, right?
It used to be the WWF.
Okay.
But to actually get there, it all starts with a silly dream in a guy's head.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden you're like, well, if you get serious about it, I started lifting weights. And then started seeking a school, and I ended up going to this place called the Hart Brothers School of Wrestling in Cambridge, Ontario.
Okay.
Which was more of a farce school to the real Hart Brothers School of Wrestling.
So it wasn't
in Calgary.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't Bret Hart and.
No, it was the brother Smith, who was a Hart brother, and he did wrestle, but he had a carny named Joe.
Okay.
They called him Mike Shaw, and he was basically kind of like a con man and got people into wrestling, and you know, there was a lot of kids conned and stuff, and the guy made a lot of money off.
Yeah, I remember Mike Shaw.
People off. No, his name was Ike Shaw.
Ike Shaw, okay.
Yeah,
it's not Mike
Shaw.
Shaw.
No,
okay.
not Mike Shaw.
Okay.
Mike Shaw was a decent guy.
Oh, okay. So now you went to the school, right?
Yep.
So, you know, you got trained, and then what? You pitched this.
Well, no, what happened was the school kind of conned these kids in, and then they said, oh, you know, we're going to have tons of shows, and there's like a show here and there, and you get a little bit disappointed because you actually learn your craft. You go work one show, and then it's like, well, we can't stay here. We got to start sending stuff out. And,
yeah.
You know, going all over the place to Boston for $50 a night.
Wow.
In a car with 4 guys, and you come home and you know you have $20 a piece at the end of the weekend. But it didn't come out of our pocket, so it was all right.
Wow. So it was that rough, right?
To live a dream is not that easy.
Correct.
Until you actually get to taste the cake.
Okay, so the moment you actually got into the WWF, like how was that? Like what exactly transpired? Was it an agent?
No, it was me and my tag team partner pushing ourselves. He was good at you know, bending the truth and telling good stories, and but we had went there, and basically it was our last time. We didn't have the beards or the hair, and we asked the one guy, he said, you know, we want jobs here. It's nice, you know, coming in and making $500 to $1,000 a month from you guys coming in and working 4 or 5 times, and
Yeah.
It's good, but how do we get a job here? And they just said, you'll never have jobs here.
No.
So me and my partner, our hearts fell, and then we decided that on our drive home, we went 4 hours the wrong way, had lots more thinking time, and we came up with the Highlanders, like guys out of the mountains of Scotland, and we decided we'd grow beards, and we went and made our own outfits and got Guy to make our kilts.
Yeah, those kilts, right?
We went down to Fabric Land and bought fake fur and leather bands and created the Highlanders.
So that wasn't Vince McMahon's
gimmick. That was all me and my tag team partner.
Shoot. Yeah. So you created this whole image, everything, the whole story.
Yep.
And you presented it to Vince McMahon.
And then he copyrighted it.
So he owns it.
He owns it. He don't own Robbie though.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So does he own the name that
he owns the Highlanders?
Okay.
That's if I go back to my contracts, it says my personal property is Robbie McAllister and his property is the Highlanders.
Even though you guys created it.
Yeah. What do you do when you're trying to get a job and it's your dream, and you look over the contract and it's like it even sucked because the guy that did the hiring that wasn't going to hire us and gave us one more shot. He didn't even like us to begin with.
Okay.
And Vince and Stephanie, they actually liked what we did.
Okay.
We didn't have people pushing to get us there. We had to push ourselves.
Correct.
Nobody in the wrestling business, usually they get there by being in someone's pocket, like an agent backstage, like an Arn Anderson or whoever's back there. They like this guy and they push for him on Vince and they push him on Vince. But me and my tag team partner, I think we were a totally different entity, bringing him a gimmick and a characters, and we shoved ourselves in his face. Nobody else there helped us.
Amazing, man.
So it is a pretty decent story.
It is, because a lot of times people are thinking, they're thinking it's just made, man. You had to hustle.
Yeah.
You had to push.
And we hustled and pushed.
And you stayed there for 4 whole years. That's huge in the WWE.
Yeah.
Like, people are in and out in a couple of weeks, couple of months sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
we were fortunate enough to get as far as we did.
Okay.
It wasn't all roses because we didn't have people in our pockets. People were always gunning against us.
Yeah.
So we never made it to where we really should have, I think.
Oh, okay.
But
you did fight for the title.
Fought for the championships on a couple times. Been on some pay-per-views. Lived my dream. I got my own action figures.
Okay.
Two different sets.
Isn't that cool?
So
That's pretty
it's
cool.
like not everybody can say they have all that stuff.
Absolutely, man. You still look as young.
You know what? I try and take pride in working on myself to stay young.
He straightens his
But,
beard.
hanging out with a girl like this, once in a while, she'll keep you young.
Keeps you young, yeah. And your tag team partner, he was supposed to be your cousin.
Yeah.
That was the gimmick, right? But he wasn't your cousin.
No, he wasn't my cousin, but he came over from Scotland to that Hart Brothers School of Wrestling where he was actually hosed. He ended up paying so back then he paid in British pounds, and it ended up being like $16,000
Ouch.
US to be at that school, or Canadian.
Yeah.
And but he got to live there, he got to learn, but it was still as far as he got hosed.
Yeah.
But because he was Scottish, I was doing a Scottish gimmick because I was, basically honoring my grandfather because he's Scottish. And he was an entertainer, and he was a really good person to me. Probably created my entertainment side in my life because nobody else really, pushed for that or maybe noticed or, but it was, and then so we just got together and we did the tag team thing.
Did the tag team.
I would have probably did it different.
What would you have done?
I would have, if he never came around, I wouldn't have been in a tag team, and I would have did it different. So.
You would have went solo.
But you can't. Life's good. Life's pretty good. I got a good life now too. So I still dabble in the wrestling, not doing a lot, but I got a good job. I travel the world, selling heavy equipment.
Yeah.
And it's basically more about relationships and entertaining people than it is about selling equipment.
Oh, okay.
You
I
just
hear
make
you.
sure you take care of your customer and they take care of you.
Yeah.
Treat people like you want to be treated, and the world's going to be good.
Amazing. And you just wrestled the other day, the other
I
night,
wrestled
right?
the other day in front of over 1,000 people.
Okay.
And I got to say, I'm Robbie, and it felt really good to do.
So how was that, man? Because, you were in front of like what, 20, 30,000 people.
I've been in front of 30,000 people
Yeah.
in like Arena, Mexico.
Okay.
I've been in front of 30,000 people in Durban, South Africa in a main event. And either or, if the crowd's hot and they're into your action,
Correct.
it doesn't matter how many people are there.
Correct.
You're going to perform the same in front of 100 people that you're going to perform in front of 30,000.
So
you're just going to have the energy.
The energy from the crowd.
Okay.
You want to give them everything they want to see.
Okay, because I did interview a couple of wrestlers so far. Casey's one of them. It's a girl.
Casey Spinelli.
Yes, and a couple other dudes. And they were telling me that, shoot, man, it's a grind, man. Like, it's a real grind. And in the beginning, until you make it to one of the big organizations, it's like you gotta pretty much do it for nothing, almost, right?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you a story, and I was telling Natasha today that wrestling didn't make me no money.
No.
It made me a lot of stories and a great life.
Okay.
But all the money I've ever made or put away, or it's been all in the last 5 years.
Correct.
There was never any money at the end of even at the end of a WWE year. You pay all your own expenses. The only thing they paid for was the flights. You pay your rental car. You pay your own expenses, your food.
For real?
Yeah, it's not unless you're on top.
Unless you're one of the
you're
dudes.
Just a chump.
Wow.
You're just a regular person that don't make lots.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's more of the
Amazing.
experience, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you get to live the life you want.
Okay.
I'm just being nosy.
Oh, okay.
No!
Okay.
Yep, you're on it now.
I got my face on.
Okay. Give me one second.